Oh, I'm sorry guys, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this episode today. I'm really not well. I've got stickers all over my face. I just feel really poorly. And I'm depressed. I can't think of a good way to recycle my Christmas hat. Fear not! I'll sort you out! Feeling better, are we? So much better. Oh, thanks, Ryan.
It's Simon!
Hello there, Internet. My name is Ryan, and I've got a bit of a treat for you today. I'm a big fan of point-and-click games, and today we have what is possibly my 5th favourite point-and-click game, maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere around that line. Anyway. If that doesn't sound too impressive, you have to remember that there are dozens, probably hundreds of these games around, and I've tried a lot of them. I haven't completed them all, but I've tried a bunch. Maybe I'll do a top 5 or a top 10 one day if that's something that you would like to see. Put your answers on a postcard and send them to number 34. Fuck you, I'm doing it anyway. I love these games so much because, unlike most games, they aren't just one huge action set piece filled with spaceships and explosions. They're interesting stories with challenging puzzles and some fleshed out characters to accompany you. It's a refreshing, slower paced way to game, and I love it. And because I came across most of these games when I was a kid, they also fill me with nostalgia, which, after crystal meth, is my drug of choice.
Oh, Daddy loves his math. Yes, he does. Daddy loves his math, doesn't he?
Let me go see my dealer.
I got the cash, man. Say. You'll be buzzing now, man.
I should fucking think so for the price I've just paid, look at that. Anyway, I digress. Today we're playing Simon the Sorcerer 2, which was released in 1995 following the success of Simon the Sorcerer 1, which was released only 2 years earlier. The first two games received high scores and praise from reviewers, which I think is more than fair. The series went on to have a bunch more titles, but they were all so underwhelming that they barely even got a paragraph between them on Wikipedia. But like I say, today we're focusing on the second installment, so let's get to it. If you've played a point-and-click game before, then nothing in this game is going to surprise you. It's a standard affair complete with the classic verb system. You've got the usual stuff like push, pull, look at, talk to, spiral into hopeless self-loathing, accented with intermittent bursts of false hope that accompany you on your descent towards your inevitable and lonely demise, and walk. You'll mostly be using a combination of these verbs and clicking on everything in sight, trying to work out how the hell you progress. Point-and-click adventures were infamously cryptic and difficult, and this game's no exception, although it's not one of the hardest. The ultimate solution to your problem may be staring you right in the face. For example, the Crazy Society are looking for a new porridge wearer in their group. Your synapses fire and you instantly remember seeing the Three Bears cottage on the world map, and you'd be absolutely right. The hard part is working out how to actually get the porridge. Let me shed some light on this particular example, and remember, none of this information is fed to you through the game. Okay, so naturally, you go to the cottage first to see what happens. You make no progress, but you do steal a letter addressed to the Three Bears from their postbox. Next, you stumble across Goldilocks hiding at the docks. She needs help escaping in a crate as she's been hunted by the bears. You've got no idea why, but you assume helping her will advance the plot, so you head to the market. You talk to the ironmonger, who's having a bit of trouble working out the new monetary system. After visiting the knights guarding the castle, who very helpfully explain the system to you, you head back to the market and aid the ironmonger. He rewards you with a crowbar, which you take to the docks and use to open the crate to help Goldilocks escape. She leaves behind a rubber dinghy and her wig. After hitting a bit of a brick wall, you wander around the map until you come across the loan office. Because our current goal is to acquire money, you walk in and look around. After getting into the back of the loan office, you learn that this man orders houses to be destroyed when they haven't paid. Remembering that the letter you stole had the three bears' address on it, you slip it into his pile when he's not paying attention, and he sends it up to the grunts on the roof so they can fire a boulder at the house. After, you return to the cottage and have a bit of a snoop around. The three bears return and start to threaten you. During a conversation with Daddy Bear, you pull out Goldilocks' wig and sell her out. This pleases the bears, and in return are happy to give you a lovely steamy bowl of porridge, which you pour on your head and become the latest member of the Crazy Crew. Even though this is very clever, spending hours and hours trying to work this all out can really get on my long johns. And don't fucking get me started on long johns.
29th of June. My birthday today. Received 5 new pairs of long johns from crew. They think they're really amusing. 1st of August. Totally fed up with wisecracks about underwear. Next one of them to try it on gets it. 3rd of August. Executed 3 crew members to set an example. The others won't dare try it on again.
Simone the Scrotum is definitely a comedy-focused game, and even though the comedy's a bit old school, and I assume the game had to have a certain appeal to kids, most of it is still pretty hilarious. Not in the way a comedy blockbuster movie is hilarious, but in the way a bunch of goths sit in a corner and giggle away as they quietly put curses on all the pretty girls.
Bob a job?
I thought you were a wizard, not a Cub Scout. Mind you, there's good eating on a Cub Scout.
Some of the humour, however, has been left in the past and wouldn't exactly be considered PC now. A perfect example being I was sat playing this game on my tablet at work with the volume playing out loud. Nobody minded, nobody even batted an eyelid until I bumped into this guy.
Pleased to meet you, man. My name is Umbongo. I've come to this wonderful city from Calamari to make a name for myself.
Everyone turned to give me the same look your dad would give you if he walked into your room and caught you with 2 fingers up your arse.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
The things Umbongo says and the responses Simon comes up with were probably on the edge of offensive back in '95, and now in 2000, where political correctness has gone mad to the point I can't even take a shit in case someone mistakes it as a right-wing political protest, let's just say I had some explaining to do in the office that day. The main plot of this game is that a young boy was doing some dark shit in his bedroom.
Run? What are you doing?
Answered immediately.
And spawned the evil Sordid from the first game. His goal is simply to exact his revenge on Simon. Sordid sends a wardrobe to collect Simon, but something goes tits up and he ends up outside Calypso's shop, Calypso being the wizard we saved from the first game. From then on, it's a crazy adventure to find some more fuel for his wardrobe and to ultimately stop Sordid once and for all. Then we rain thanks for our favourite thaumaturge. This journey takes Simon through a plethora of locations using dozens of beautifully designed backdrops. You end up travelling all over a small town which is filled with colourful characters for you to talk to and things to look at and interact with. I love the fact these games are filled with stuff that does nothing to advance the plot. You could sit and have a chat with strangers for ages only to realise you're none the wiser, but they're usually pretty funny regardless. After the town, you travel the seas on a pirate ship where you meet a whole new cohort of ridiculous characters. Then you end up on an island for a little while, and finally you ride a huge lion straight to Sordid's lair. I won't spoil the end for you, but let's say that Sordid and I have very similar dreams.
Think how it feels for me. I have to suffer the shame of being your mother. I have to live with the fact that I bred a hideous, unholy monster. Don't try that on with me, you ugly little creature. Eat your porridge.
Yes, this game is filled to the brim with memorable characters, challenging puzzles, and beautifully drawn animations. Even though this game can be a massive chore when you get stuck, as long as you've got a cheeky walkthrough in your back pocket, yeah, you're going to have a pretty good time with Simon and his crazy peers. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a perfectly average start to the new year. I hope you're all well on your way to giving up your New Year's resolutions and settling back into the calm waters of misanthropy. Bye!